Good afternoon, everyone. I, Apurva,
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Project Officer on behalf of City University, would like to take pleasure to welcoming Mr. S.B. Singh, who is CEO, Taran Industries, an engineering and management consultant having more than 30 years experience, National Technical Director of MSME, Chamber of Commerce, Joint Secretary, Head of CII, Wing of CISU, Zonal Council Member, and MSME Committee Member of PhD Chamber of Commerce Industry, Global Governing Committee Member of Punjabi Chamber of Commerce, and uh, and various of the sectors like PSIEC, DCRS, DPRS, and QCI consultant. Without any further delay, I hand over this session to you, sir. The sir is going to deliver the session on the topic workshop on prototype, process design, and development.
Good afternoon, everybody, and I thank City University and all the faculty who are instrumental in organizing this discussion on this prototype process or product design and development. Basically, when we talk about the prototype product or process design, this aspect is basically I'll explain it on behalf of industry side how we proceed on the prototype process or product design. And as far as your queries are concerned, we will be happy to answer all the queries. But when we start answering queries midway between the discussion, so at times the content gets delayed, or say in that case some content we may miss out. So we will have a separate question answer session after I complete my delivery of the session. We will have a formal question answer session, and you can note down your queries, and we will answer all the queries whatsoever are there, related to this topic. So today's topic is basically prototype product or process development, design and development. So from the perspective of industry side, when a new product has to be designed or developed, there are two different perspectives. One perspective is the product or process design, and the second perspective is product and process development. So when we are doing some design part, so in that case, we need to know what are the functions to be performed by that component. Say there could be some aesthetic requirements from that product. There could be some functional requirements from that product. There could be some load requirements, there could be some thickness, or say those kind of requirements that there could be some constraints also. If we are designing a component which is to be fitted into an engine, so there has to be some space constraints also. So keeping in mind the functions to be performed by that component, and whatever are the constraints under which we have to say work or design that product. So keeping that in mind, we start see the process of designing of a component. So and there we use some different tools during this design process. And in an industry, what we generally prefer is we generally have a team made for this particular aspect, which is related to product or process design and development. In that case, that team we called cross-functional team. It means there could be the members of the design team who will be working on that part. Then for development, any tooling to be made, or say any production department where they will be processing it. So we involve the HODs of the major functions, 3, 4, 5 functions of different departments, and make a cross-functional team who would work on that particular aspect related to the design and development of production processes. So this is the first step. We have a CFT cross-functional team. Then next part comes that we need to do an exercise, which is a special tool called failure mode and defect analysis. So whenever we need to design a product or develop a product, in that case, what we do is there is a process called failure mode and defect analysis. There is a study called failure mode and defect analysis. In short terms, we call it FMEA. So once we are through with, on the basis of your technical knowledge of the CFT members, we design that product, that this product has to be have that kind of load requirements, these kind of the functional requirements, fits or tolerances are also considered, appearance is also considered, and the constraints are also considered. So once we are able to design a product, in that case, now there are two options available. With the new technology available, with the 3D prototyping, 3D design prototyping, we can even make a product which is not tooled up. Earlier on, say a few years ago, there was only an option available that you need to develop a tool, dies, etc. And then you can process the product, and then you come to know whether that is working properly, its aesthetic look is okay or not, and the space constraints are covered or not. So in that case, once since now the technology is available even without any tooling, we once we are okay with the design part of that product, we can make a prototype through the 3D modeling part also, and prototype can be developed in the shape of either metallic or a plastic of replica of that component which actually would be designed or developed. So in that case, there is an option available. We can do that prototyping through that 3D modeling, and say we can create a model of that particular component without even making the dies and tools. But when we have to actually develop that component, in that case, of course, because we have to do mass production and it has to be checked as far as functional requirements are concerned, its fits and tolerances has to be checked. So in that case, when we go from prototype to the mass production or pilot lot stage, of course, we need to design the process flow of that component to be made. Whatever component we are going to make, we need to design the process flow. What would be the different operations to be performed on that particular component, on which machine or on which batch process it has to be done. So that part we need to design a different process flow of that component through which that component will be ultimately made. There are sequence of operations and processes which are performed on a product, starting from raw material, then it gets its finished product shape. So all these sequence of those operations and processes need to be followed. And initially we need to design that, but that design is done basically purely on your technical and practical experience of dealing in those components. In industry, we do get different kinds of components which we need to develop. So in that case, when we get a drawing of a component or a sample of a component, on the basis of our practical knowledge and technical knowledge, we design the different of that component. We design the different processes of that component, and once we are through with that part, so and in that case we need we do adopt a process which is generally prevalent in industries, and we call it in short name we call it APQP, Advanced Product Quality Planning. So this is a tool or says document which we use, through which we completely plan the prototype design and development process, and this what are the different activities to be performed during that complete development of that product, and at the same time see what are the different stages of activities which will be done. So this all is done on a document. I would like to share that document with you also. it is basically a process called APQP, Advanced Product Quality Planning, which we generally use in industries for any product design and development or process design and development. So herein, I would like to share my screen here. So there is a subject called Advanced Product Quality Planning. I hope it is visible to you, this screen which I am showing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once we start the process of design or development of a component, in that case, as I told you that we initially need to make a cross-functional team. And once we are through with the cross-functional team making, in that case, we then next start processing the. So once we are through with the process flow of that component, in that case, what we do is we do make a timeline chart of different activities to be performed, and we generally prefer a Gantt chart to be made for that. So in a Gantt chart, you are able to see say which activity would be done from which time to which time, and you are able to completely calculate that within say 15 days or 22 days we will be able to complete the complete development process. So it starts with the timeline chart which we make. I'll show that format also to you as far as the timeline chart is concerned. Then when we say have to design a new component or develop a new component, there are some new equipments or gauges, test equipments, etc. or toolings required. We generally identify whatever are the new equipments or gauges or test equipments which are required. Then some special product and process characteristics are also identified. And as I told you that we do a FMEA, failure mode and defect analysis exercise, through which we identify where is the possibility of a failure during design and development of that particular product. So, and we pre-hand, before we actually start the development, take those kind of precautions which are highlighted through this FMEA exercise. Once we do FMEA, there are some potential risks which are conveyed through FMEA, that in this process or in this operation, there are chances of failure. And the chances of failure are like this only, say this way it is going to, there could be some crack in the component, or these kinds of things get highlighted when we do FMEA of that component. So once we are through with the FMEA, we do take precautions, whatever are required to be taken. So in that case, once we are through with that, we do make a complete process flow chart of how this component is going to be made. Then in that next case, we do make a pre-launch control plan of that component. What are the different activities at what stage of the processing, what kind of testing would be required to be done, how it would be done, what kind of test equipment will be used for that, and if some dimensional measurements are concerned, in that case, what is the instrument which will be used for doing the dimensional measurements. And at the same time, once we are through, we do make control plans, engineering drawings, then material specifications are freezed, then process flow chart is finalized. Packing standards are also finalized. See, if we design a component, how we are going to ship that component, how we are going to pack that component, what are the packing standards to be used, and process parameters also. So herein, I would like to tell you one very important aspect of this today's discussion. It is called process validation. When we say process validation, it means if we are doing any process on a component, say we do different operations and processes to finish the component. So if we are doing any process, say if we are doing some painting or say heat treatment and these kind of processes, in that case, what we need to do is we need to define some parameters which will be followed. Say this, if we are maintaining some temperatures sort of thing, then there has to be a standard specifications like 850 degree to 870 degree temperature has to be maintained. So, and say this much would be the soaking time, or say this is the concentration of the liquid which is being used for processing. These all parameters we define or finalize through a process called process validation. We do different kinds of trials, and then whatever are the best results achieved through a particular set of parameters, we freeze those set of parameters, and this process is called process validation. So once we are through with the process validation, we finalize the parameters for each process which is to be done on that particular product. So these are the different aspects which we touch upon when we are doing some product or process design. So we do some production trial runs also. Then the next part is in industry, there is again a very important aspect which is related to the design and development. It is basically a, uh, in short name, we called PPAP, production part approval process. So once we are doing some designing or say prototyping, in that case, some hit and trials may be done. But once we are through with the hit and trials and we are okay with the design which we have finalized, in that case, finally what we do is then we send a set of documents to our customer if we are supplying to any OEM. In that case, a set of documents needs to be sent with the samples which we have developed, so that those the set of documents which are being sent along with the samples to the customer, that set of document is called PPAP documents. We call in it is shortly called PPAP, PPAP, but otherwise full name is production part approval process. So this is how a component gets developed right from start, from say making a CFT. Then after making a CFT, then we go in for the feasibility study. Then after feasibility study, we do FMEA of that component, say at what stages there could be some problem. Then after doing FMEA, whatever are the critical gaps or say potential risks where some process can fail or product can fail, we take precautions of that particular product or process. Then we design the process flow, then we make control plan, then we set the process parameters, and we do set the process parameters through process validation, which is done on that particular product by having different trials, and the best results given by any particular trial are freezed, and those parameters get standardized. So this is how a product or process prototype is say a product or process is designed. As far as prototype is concerned, as I told you, there are two ways to get a sample made. One is through toolings, making the different dies and tools, etc. It takes time and it consumes cost also. And the latest version which is available is that there are some 3D machines through which we can get a sample of the product which is to be made. We just feed the parameters, the 3D parameters of the design, and we get a sample or prototype of that particular product, through which we can do some say visual appearance check or say functional check or whatever are the checks which are easily can be done. We do check those parameters through that particular prototype which we have made through the 3D modeling. So this I have explained from the perspective of an industry. So from the perspective of students who are working on design projects, let me share with you one information also, that there is a very good scheme which is available to students of any institute also. It is a scheme called Design Clinic Projects. Design Clinic scheme, wherein any student who is working in the university or institute, studying in a university or institute, in that case, once they design any innovative product, say they do get a support of up to rupees 5 lakhs for a design and development of a particular innovative product. So if anybody of you from you is interested to develop, has some idea in mind, and they want some support of that type, in that case support from industry and the different government department is very much available. There are some incubators also, wherein you get support related to, say, if you have any idea and you want to convert into a product, you want to get a product made out of that idea, there is a support in the shape of incubators, wherein you can use the machineries and equipment softwares of that incubation center, and you can get your product actually designed and developed, which for which you are at present having idea only, and you don't want to use your financial resources for the development or design of that particular product. So there is a support available in the shape of incubation centers. There is a support available in the shape of design clinic scheme, wherein if you are able to design an innovative product, you as a student can get a support of up to rupees 5 lakhs for each innovative product which you are able to design. So these are two informations related to some scheme or support available related to design and development of products or processes. So as far as this overview is concerned, I have briefed you about the overview of the product, prototype product or process design and development. Now, if you have any queries, so I would like to answer those queries. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible. Students are going to drop their questions in the chat box.
Okay. Any queries from any participant? Uh, I suppose there is no query coming. I think there is no query coming up, but this is in this particular case there could be two cases wherein everything is nobody is able to understand what I was trying to say. I don't know what is the feedback of the participants. Say, if there is no such query, in that case, there is a possibility that either everybody has understood what I was trying to explain, or there is a gap with everybody. Okay, you have a startup idea. Okay, so what is the stage? Have you worked on that idea, or say in that case? Okay, so have you thought of getting some support on that particular subject, on that particular idea? Okay. So, what is the kind of support you are looking for as far as that particular project is concerned? Okay, let me share it with you. There is a very good support available. As I told you, that if you are able to design a very innovative product, uh, there are different definitions of innovative product. I would like to explain the existing products available in the market. This is one definition of an innovative product. Second, even if we are able to get some import substitute product, that product is not being made in India, being imported right till now, And if we are able to develop that over here, it is considered as an innovative product in their definition. And any product which is gives better quality than the existing one. So all these three categories could be considered in that. So as far as funding is concerned, as I told you, as a for a student design project, if you are able to design a product which is innovative in nature, in that case there is a support of rupees 5 lakhs available in the shape of uh, say student design project in design click scheme of MSME department. This is one support as far as an innovative product design is concerned. Second part is that you can use, if you want to have some support, you need some machine working on some machines, you need to work on some machines. So there are some incubation centers. And as far as IT is concerned, there is a very specialized incubation center in Mohali who can support. It is state government suppose department which is supporting the startups. It is especially related to IT projects. So you can get a support of that particular center also as an incubation center to say whatever support is required to develop that product, whatever is your idea to realize it. And the third part is, if your product is something which is through which you are going to offer a service or product to the market. In that case, if it is some manufacturing type of project which you want to set, in that case, for a manufacturing project or a service industry, there is a basic scheme for entrepreneurship called Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. It is called PMEGP, Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. Through in the PMEGP scheme for manufacturing industries, whosoever wants to set up a manufacturing industry, there is a project capping of rupees 50 lakhs. Means up to rupees 50 lakhs project you can install. You can even get a funding of up say in the shape of bank finance up to rupees 40 lakhs out of that project. Say if the total cost is 50 lakhs, you can get funding of up to rupees 40 lakhs. Only your investment would be 10 lakhs, and that is proportionate. I am talking about 50 lakh project. In that case, your say contribution comes out to be 10 lakhs, means 20%. If your project is lesser, say 20 lakhs, in that case you need to invest just 4 lakhs, and 16 lakhs you can get funding from bank. And there is a subsidy part. The most important part to know is that there is a very good subsidy part under this scheme for women entrepreneurs who want to start business. If they want to set up a manufacturing unit in industry, say in rural area, there is a subsidy of rupees 35% subsidy of the project cost under this PMEGP scheme. So if you are say anybody female candidate wants to set up a project of up to rupees 50 lakhs in a rural area, in that case she will get a support of roughly around 19 lakhs subsidy. Means they have taken funding of rupees 40 lakhs, but they just have to return 21 lakhs. 19 lakhs is the subsidy part if you set up a manufacturing unit of up to rupees 50 lakhs in a rural area. So there is a good funding available from the MSME department in the shape of Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. I hope I am able to answer your say query related to funding. And there is one more source of funding available. There is one more source of funding available. These days, there are angel investors also who do invest on your project. And there is a difference between angel investment and the investment, say you get funding from the bank. If you get funding from the bank, they are going to start after the cool off period 6 months. They will start charging EMIs, and in that case it becomes difficult to sustain. But in case of angel investors, they don't charge you till you become a profit, your company becomes a profitable company. Say 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 years, they will wait. but they invest only on those projects which they found to be very much viable, that these will be successful projects. So in there is a funding available in the shape of angel investors also, and this is very common these days. So you can use that route of angel investors also. So Ishika has asked which strategies I can use for branding my product in the market. See, as far as branding is concerned, it is a subject which is related to the advertisement and marketing part, and there are some IPR related parts also involved in it. When I say IPR, I'm talking about intellectual property rights. So first of all, if you want to design any logo of your product or company, you should say get your trademark or logo registered, because we have seen many companies wherein they have worked, invested time and cost also, and but they didn't get their logo or say trademark registered, and later on they had to face problems. Someone got registered their logo or trademark on their own part, some other company, and they incur losses in that part. So as far as the logo is concerned or trademark is concerned, you should get your logo trademark registered. And as far as brand is concerned, in that case, see, as far as branding is concerned, you need to study the market first, and how that product can be placed, and where is the potential of selling my product. So the branding has to be done accordingly. If you are making a product which is to be used by an industrial consumer, then branding would be totally different strategy. You need to use the social platforms also. We can use the social platforms also as far as the say brand building is concerned. But as far as brand making is concerned, in that case, you need to see the application of your product, where it is to be used, and then we can decide the branding strategies accordingly. Is there any more query from any participant? Okay, Dinesh has asked for that how to pitch my idea in front of angel investors. See, I am a governing council member of Punjabi Chamber of Commerce. It is a worldwide organization. We do have a PCC Angels special network of our PCC also. But what is more important for a student to know is that when we are participating in any pitching session, in that case, what is say what are the your advantages of your product over other products. So that is very important to tell to the investor. Say my product is different from the existing products in market, how it is different, and at the same time they need to know whether it is just an idea or you have worked on it also. What I have generally seen is that the success rate of those say students is very high, in which it is very clearly visible that the student has an idea, but he has started working on that idea also. It is not just an idea. Whatever are the resources available with you, kindly start working on it. Reflect in whatever working you have done, must be reflected in your presentation. And financial calculations are very much important nowadays. For being a good successful entrepreneur, you need to be a techno commercial person. You need to know the financials also, costing of product, how it is different, how it will be pitched in the market, and at the same time, what is the total cost involved, what will be the say profit after 1 year, but say what will be the profit after 2 years, tentative calculations of that part. So if we are able to have these kind of calculations reflected in our presentation in pitching our idea, the success rate is much more higher than others. I hope you have been able to get some inputs on how to pitch your idea in front of angel investors. See, as far as prototypes are concerned, Mr. Gurdeep Singh Sidhu, you have asked about the high fidelity or low fidelity prototypes. As far as prototypes are concerned, in that case, we need to know the application of the product and the difference between the product which is going to function and what best we can achieve through the prototype on the basis of the gap between what how the product is going to perform and how the prototype which we are visualizing, we can differentiate between these high fidelity and low fidelity prototypes. Of course, this is a big topic. We need to have a separate session on this particular. If we go into the micro study of the prototypes, we can explain in detail. But in general, what we observe, say, how we differentiate is about the functions which the product has to be performed and how we can cross check by making a prototype on the basis of that particular aspect. We decide about this. Any more queries? So I think there are no more queries. Okay. Muskan has asked, what is the biggest challenge faced by designers while developing prototypes? See, the functions to be performed by the product, at times we find that whatever prototype we have developed, it can get you a reflection of how that product will look like. So as far as aesthetic look is concerned, that purpose is getting solved through the prototype development. But at times the product which we need to design, in that case there are some special metallic applications or say processing applications. In that case, that prototype will only give you a reflection of how that product will look like. But as far as that part is concerned, as far as performance is concerned, in that case the performance through which is functional requirement can't be gauged through the prototype development. This is one challenge which is being faced by the designers. This is one aspect. And the second aspect is the second challenge is that as far as prototypes are concerned, in that case, while we are developing the prototype, see the time is saved. There is no doubt about that. But if we are somehow able to get the information related to the functions of the product, in that case the prototype will not be able to have those properties in that particular product in the prototype. So that is again a challenge. So these are a few of the challenges which are being faced by designers while developing the prototypes. Any more queries? So if there are no more queries, so can we go in for closing of the session?
Yes, sir. There are no more queries, and thank you so much, sir, for sparing your valuable time for our students. And
Hello.
am I audible to you, sir?
Yeah, you are audible, and I like to convey to all the students that as far as there were some queries related to some startup ideas and support required in the shape of, say, funding or say availing the benefits of government schemes. So I'm sharing my say email ID and contact number with you. But as far as contact number is concerned, my preferable communication mode would be through WhatsApp. At times we say we do lot of training programs, so at times it is not possible to attend the call. I'm sharing my number. Anybody has any support required in the shape of getting some funding or say government schemes, benefits, etc. My contact number is 98155 48860. I'm writing in the chat 98155 98155 48860. I have shared my number in the chat. So, and as far as my mail ID is concerned, I'll share that also. I've shared my mail ID also. So if you have any queries or any further queries or any support required, you can always let me know, and I'll be more than happy to say help you out. Because with City University, it is not delivering a lecture as a guest faculty. I'm part and parcel of City University. I did my PhD from City University only. I have done PhD on zero defect, zero effect. So it is a pleasure talking to anybody from City University or is delivering a talk over there. It is always a pleasure, and it is a feeling of like homecoming over there. So thank you very much, City University faculty and all the management for giving me an opportunity to have this interaction. And thank you all for giving me a patient listening on this particular topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable information and spending time for your like busy schedule. And this is small token of love on behalf of City University. I'll be sharing. Sir, screen is visible.
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, sir, this is
Thank
small
you,
token
ma'am.
of
So nice
love
of
on
you.
behalf of City University, and I'll be sharing this via email too.
Okay, thank you, Ji. So nice of you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir.
Once again, thank you all for being a part of this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.